Oh. Woo! Hey. What is good? What is Papa Lovin', everybody? My name is Cee.
My name is Nosh Doggity Doglet. How you going?
Yeah, it is, mate. Welcome to episode 87. Bad Habits. We in the building. Nosh night tonight. Hold it down.
Certainly
How you doing?
are. Mate, pretty chilly. It's been snowing all day. Looks like a snow globe outside. So I've got a couple of fluffies and we're getting through it.
Mate, I feel you. Weather's been up and down lately. It's kind of annoying.
Look at you with your marijuana soda.
Yeah, what do you got?
What was it?
Yeah, this is the... It's HYTN. Maybe I don't know if it's called Hyten. That's kind of cool if it is. And it's watermelon mint. And it's 5 milligrams.
Mint?
Yeah.
Struth. Mint in anything other than bubblegum? Like chewy? Like gum? Cunts? Mate.
It's a little weird. Like I've had it before.
Treat.
Well, it works well with watermelon for some reason. I don't know why. Watermelon mint. I want to try it in a juice. We usually we make juice pretty often. I have put mint in there before, but I haven't done it for a while. So maybe I'll move back on some mint shit. You know the fucking mint vibes. What do you got?
Oh, yeah, no, babe, got a pills, mate, from the kids down the street. Classic Aveling pills. It's delicious. Can't fault it. So I have it in abundance sometimes.
I like it. I'm here for it. I want it in your face. It's a beauty. So what's been going on this last little bit? I'm trying to think of some updates. Oh yeah, I dropped another beer with my face on it this week. 2 beers with my face on it dropped on Wednesday. So
that doesn't happen often. 2 fucking beers. Give yourself a round of applause.
I should. Yeah. Oh, good. Oh. You know
that's what I'm saying.
You know the vibes. I shouldn't get them, but they're up there though. So it was cool. That's kind of nice. Like 2 at the one time. People responded super positively. A lot of people were like, "Oh, where can I get it?" I'm like, "Yeah, you got to go to the brewery to get it." So
gotta go to Montreal. Basically,
one of them is even on the res in Kanawaki. So we did one with this brewery called Kanawaki, which is like they're the first brewery on a First Nations reserve in Canada, and we did a smoothie sour, which for the non-beer people is like it's a smoothie. Think of a smoothie. So it's like a sour version of sour beer smoothie with unfermented fruit in it. So they put it in at the end so that it's like fruit puree type of thing. And it's like basically a breakfast beer. They're like 5. This one's 5.7. And I tried to make it as an Australian biscuit or a cookie. So we call them a biscuit. Y'all call them a cookie. And we call it a Monte Carlo. So we tried to replicate that in the smoothie, which is kind of weird. What did you think? Because you finally got it. Did you have I know that your first one exploded, and I think that's because of transport, unfortunately. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, mate, not your fault. It was good, man. Like, fuck. With what I was able to salvage, it's very good. It was super easy to drink. It was very thick and juicy and fun, but it didn't sit heavy in your stomach, so that was the best part.
You've had a bunch of smoothies, right? You've had the moon stuff, Rorschach, and all that.
Yeah.
So, you already know the vibes.
This was a real smoothie. The bubbles on the head of this fucking thing looked like an actual milkshake. Like, they had big hexagonal beehive-looking bubbles, and it would look like it. When you blow down in your straw into the milkshake and you get those big dirty bubbles? That's initially how it looked in my mason jar glass that I was smashing it out of. So, yeah. Really looked like a milkshake, bro. Smoothie.
Yeah.
So.
And it was a little weird because it's got like a Monte Carlo. It's basically like an Oreo style, and like it's got the cream in the middle with 2 biscuits pieces on top, and it's like a vanilla kind of cookie type of thing with apparently there's a bit of lemon zest in it, which I never picked, and then the inside is mostly
is it a shortbread? It's not really a shortbread biscuit.
It's not shortbread either. It's really
smooth, like crumbly,
super crumbly. Like it's just like a vanilla cookie type of shit, but But like you said, super crumbly. So it's not super comparable to anything here when I try to tell people about it. So when we did it, I told, so the brewery Drew, he's the owner. I've known him for years. So I was telling him about it, and he hadn't even tried it when he made it. So it's got raspberry, coconut. I don't know if you notice, there's a kind of like a bit of a film to it. It's because there's so much fat from the coconut puree, because coconut has a lot of fat in it, and there's nothing you can really do to remove that. They put graham cracker pieces in there, or like it's like a thing they add to beer all the time, which kind of adds a little bit of a grain through it because you can't filter all of it out. That's to kind of give it that biscuit vibe, even though it's not completely accurate because there's nothing that does compare. And obviously the raspberry, because it's like it's kind of like this raspberry chewy thing around the cream, the coconut cream. It's a weird thing. It's very cool. So he did that blind. And I gave him some of the biggies.
That's crazy.
And he tried it after. He's like, oh, fuck, all right, I'm going to do this again. Because he had extra labels, so he's going to do a second batch. So I'm going to have some more of those. And he tried it, but I was really happy with what he did because he pulled that out of his fucking ass. It made it work, so it's super cool. And look, for the Aussies out there, I won't go into it, but it's called Shell for Bicky, which is a very funny reference to some shit that if you can Google it, or what's it called? Urban Dictionary.
Person.
Then you might know what it is. So that's a very tongue-in-cheek, smart-ass reference to something that we find very, very hilarious. And the fact that we got away with that is, to me, it's pretty fucking...
It's like naming a team 2 for 30, like you did back in the day.
Yeah. I was trying... Which is a whole other thing. Yeah, that's actually a pretty funny story.
Cheeky team names, cheeky brand names, cheeky brandings.
Yes. Which is, I don't know, to me it's pretty... I know we're pretty old.
It's commendable, bro. I don't know.
Tiff wasn't into it.
Now. You can't take it back, so you fucking win, cunt.
Do you know what's good? It's been out. No one said anything. A few cunts, though, commented on the Facebook. So I did like a post from my...
All the ravers will know, so, you know.
Well,
hopefully we get some
cheeky
comments.
Yeah, there was a few funny cheeky comments. If you check I shared, so basically I just took a picture of the two cans and just said, hey, it's kind of tricky that this is happening. And I posted that on my @C4 account on Instagram and then everywhere else. And I put it on my personal Facebook page because usually when it's something like that, people would respond to it. And I thought, get a little bit of engagement with it or whatever. And a whole bunch of people commented. Some people that I went to high school, we used to skip classes, smoke weed with, commented. They were like, this is fucking crazy. And a few other people were losing their shit, but they didn't say even what it is. It was it's like they understood the whole thing and also understood there was no need to say what it meant because I knew what it meant clearly. Yeah, and the Canadians awesome. Might be able to figure it out, but no one said anything yet. We'll see, which is cool. And the second one, which I bought your pack because I didn't get a lot of them, but we did a 4-pack with 3 other beer media friends here in Quebec and a dépanneur, like a beer store, and then the brewery, and it's called C'est juste de la bière, so it's just beer. And the whole point of it was that we did 4 different beers that are more like traditional, like the smoothie sour is a very new thing, super trendy, all the kids are drinking it. But all the kids. And the other pack that we did was a bit more traditional stuff with a slight twist to make it modern. And the message behind it was the beer scene can get pretty toxic. The rap scene is always toxic. Basically, every scene can have its... Doesn't matter what it is. It could be knitting. I'm sure there's toxic knitting motherfuckers, So
nasty nannies.
Just like you fucking slut,
nasty
Brenda.
Nannies. You're fucking using the wrong caliber of fucking pricks. You can't
yarn.
Use whatever number the needles are.
She doesn't know.
Grade 4.
I know what you mean. You don't know nothing about yarn, you dumb cunt.
I know nothing about knitting, fucking kid.
So, anyway, it was just sort of like a pushback. We made a really funny video that's that 70s show, which was
very well done.
Yeah, which was, you saw it in the end, yeah?
I did see it, yeah. It's fucking awesome.
It's pretty silly. It's on the BAOS podcast YouTube channel if you want to check that out. But anyway, that pack, mine was a dry hopped Pilsner with Moteca, which is a New Zealand hop. So it's super bright. I did a big podcast, which you just did on for me today. And we did it via Zoom because we had 6 cunts. And Zoom gave me all of those individual audios,
I love that. That was awesome. That was like mixing a posse cut of rappers.
Yes.
It was a podcast with beer nerds. It was really cool.
I thought you'd enjoy it, and I was going to talk to you about it before, but I guess we can talk about it on air. Because I'm looking for an alternative to this software that we use. Because this software is primarily for going live. And now we don't do lives anymore, so we can look at alternatives. So because we had 6 people, and this software only, it's like me plus 3 guests, and we had me plus 5 guests, I was like, fuck, what do we do? One of my friends who was a part of the pack is big. He does all his podcasts via Zoom. So I was like, cool, we did it. Tiff made a wrap around it, which I put in on Final Cut after the fact. And it all worked pretty well. So I'm considered, the only thing is my friend told me that you can get the plugins, because I was like, oh, we've got all the sound effects, so I want to bring those in still. and he was like, well, you can get plugins for it. So I think you, me, and Dan should look into Zoom and see what it is. And Zoom is compatible with OBS. And OBS, this is for people who know OBS is like so the software we use is called Ecamm. Exactly. No, OBS is like a thing where you can pull in video. Basically, it's like an interface that allows you to customize the look. So what I want to do, if people are watching on YouTube here, you can see at the top here, we have where it is there, the bad habits there. We have down the bottom all of our handles and some logos and stuff, right? So it looks nice, and we can take this and take a clip from it that we do and promote it on social. So if the thing is a little bit complicated through OBS because it can pull in the video from Zoom really nicely, and you can actually much easier plug your camera in as well, and if you want to have your camera so it's a bit tighter. I mean, your audio, your video looks great as well, but like if you wanted to plug because you have the same camera, you can do that. And then the problem is though, because I looked at this way to set it up, but the audio becomes complicated and you have to get this other software in between. It's called like virtual AV cables or something. And you need all these different things to like, it's like the audio comes in through one way, then you have to be able to export the audio. And then like, say you have the Zoom, I got my Zoom mic, you've got your studio mic in front of you. And then, so we've got higher quality audio that goes into the system, works on the video, and then still can be pulled out for our audio portion. So we have a bit of work to do that I need to talk to you about. We need to figure it out together to see what happens. High tech things, but I want to like fix it up. I'm always I think this all looks good, but I'm starting to think. My friend who told me about the Zoom, he said that whenever he does the Zoom, this podcast with me, he said he always finishes it. Bless you. He's been on about 3 or 4 times, and he was like, I always feel like exhausted because it was like, I think he might have been being a bit dramatic, bless you. But he was saying that he felt like exhausted from the experience of doing this because he's so used to Zoom. And this one, the video lags, things fuck up, people can't dial in. There's always problems. So I'm thinking I'm willing to switch over, and I think Zoom will be cheaper if I pay for the full plan and all that stuff.
I mean, just the way the stems came into the session, everything was just like, oh yeah, fucking sweet as. Yeah, and it's like it's kind of got its own sort of pre-compression or EQ on it. Everything was fairly level. I just had to do a bit of balance, take out some harshness, and the usual stuff I do to your voice was cool. But like that was really easy, man. Like that was, I mean,
it was good for you.
It was proper. Like I had a good time. It was like mixing a posse cut for a rap song for like 5-6 rappers. It was really cool.
Okay, and that's all. Do you know what to do that? All I did was click a button and click a checkbox and said, separate all tracks. And then I get this.
Yeah, that's what Logic does.
Does the same thing. So in the end of the episode, I get this automatic folder that has the video, that has all the audio, and then has a whole bunch of other shit that
labeled.
All labeled, and it says the name. You know how you have a name on the screen? Each one had the name of whatever they had on the screen on it. So I knew what it was.
I did enjoy that.
And
that
then
was proper.
So it had
organization, people. Organization goes a long way.
And it made my life easy because when I put it into Logic for you, that shit came up like that. So yeah, I'm pretty interested in looking more into that because we might even be able to move. The thing is, what we would have to do is record in Zoom, and then this bad habit shit around it. It's already a template, so I can just pop that template inside Final Cut. And then that'll put it on top because I don't think you can actually do it within Zoom. If we wanted to do it in OBS, you can create this thing in OBS and we can have the video however we want, have shit all over the place. That's a part of the thing. You can be creative, but it's going to take us time to figure all that out because we don't have anyone on the team who's done it before. So we'll probably I think between the 4 of us with Dan and Tiff, we'll be able to figure it out. But anyways, I thought...
Well, if there's anybody watching or listening, just give us a comment if you've done this before. Help out, couple cunts like us, eh?
Yeah, I'd love to hear it. The main thing to me is the audio is the most complicated part. So if we can get great, like a more interesting front end, so it's going to look good on video, that's an easy, seamless process like Zoom. Everyone's basically used Zoom at this point and they know how to use it. If we can bring that in, I think that would be pretty cool. We don't really have guests very often here, but I have guests on the other podcasts a lot, and I want it to be simple. And every single week there's something. And I'm doing like 2 a week right now, plus this one, plus some live. So I'm back to being pretty exhausted with it all. So I just want something like nice and simple. So anyways, just wanted to talk to you live about that. I thought it's kind of interesting to talk about it on here.
Hey man, I'm here for it.
Also,
meeting,
yes,
good meeting.
Good meeting. Tiff just looked at me funny when she walked in. So Dan isn't here. Dan just moved. I think we talked about it. We pushed the episode last week, and today he was like kind of balls deep in fixing the house. His girlfriend came back, and
that is like full. All we could see was nuts.
And I wanted him to talk about. Speaking of nuts, he got a bidet. He got the. It wasn't tushy. Thank you. It wasn't the tushy.
Blow some water up his schnutz.
Yeah, so I was talking to him about it today because I didn't get it. I looked into it.
Keen.
And I don't know if have you ever thought about getting one?
I have. I was going to get the old tush, but I just didn't get it because like I realized that I couldn't get the hot water one, and then by the time I was able to get the fucking sale, by the time I was able to get when I was ready to get it, the sale that was going on wasn't around, and then they had another sale for 2, and I'm like, man, I have one dunny. I didn't have a 1.1.
Okay, because you could have got it, and I could have taken the other one.
Oh, could have split dunny. Ah, fuck. Yo,
God damn
I didn't even think about that, fam. Shit.
Okay, keep an eye out for it. So, shit, mom. Shit, what the frick, mom? Okay, I gotta. Hang on. Wait.
Yeah, fair enough. All right.
Why are you gay?
So, Dan was telling me.
I don't have any explanation for you, bro. Like, I don't know.
Just happens, eh? So, Dan was
shit won't happen if you get the bidet. You know what I mean? Like,
it will happen, but it'll be cleaner. Cleaner puppets. So he was saying that I was like, how cold is it? Because I'm like, my whole thing is that I do not want, when it's minus 20
just take your spritz, mate. It'll wake you up. Consider it the Wim Hof, cold water, fucking polar dip. Give you a nuss, give you a freckle of polar dip. And
so I'm not interested in that. Have you ever tried to wash anything in cold water? It doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, So at the end of the shower, once you've cleaned yourself, you do the minute of full cold. It's horrible, but you can do it.
I'm good.
But for the butty, I mean, like, bro, you can take it. Don't be a pussy hole.
Pause. But the point was, I guess what I'm trying to say is that I didn't purchase it because of the.
Only had the cold one.
They only had the cold one. So Dan said on the one that he's got, and I forgot, it started with L. The name of the brand. It wasn't Tushy. It was something else. And he said,
jumps on Google.
Yeah, I'm like, what is it? But you can talk about it next week. But he said there's a little switch.
We're gonna have a whole segment dedicated to Dan
talking about
play-by-play about how clean his bum is now.
He's loving it. He said
how the bidet changed his life. That's
he goes and like the little shooter thing goes like it actually like comes out of the hiding thing and like shoots. And he said when they tested it, they hooked it up and tested it, and it was like fully squirted the wall, and like he said, it was really funny.
Get the fuck out of here!
Yeah, like it's pretty. Like he goes, it feels like it's get your balls, get your shit out. I'm like, okay, cool. So he said,
just wipe the whole thing up.
Basically. So anyway, my whole fucking point was that he said that there's a switcher on the side that allows you to turn it a little bit warm, like you can choose. And even though in our place, he's in the same building, so it's the same setup where you'd have to drill into the cabinet underneath, and I think it's probably the same for you, to get to the hot water. And I don't know if I'm allowed to do that because we're renting this place. So when I buy my own place, I'm going to do it for sure.
Yo, just fucking do it. They can deal with a hole in a fucking thing. Cunts do way worse.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. Anyway, we're not trying to stay here much longer, so I don't really give a fuck at this point. But that's why I held off. And also I don't have I'd have to rent the tools, or I'd have to get someone to come and do it because I don't have anything powerful enough to cut a hole in the wood. Like I don't have any of that stuff. So, anyways.
Just punch, mate.
I probably could. But that's why I didn't get it. Dan got that, and his
I'm really looking forward to hearing how clean Dan's asshole is next week.
Yes. So we'll hear all about that. Just because you said something about nuts, and I was like, okay, let's cover that.
Balls deep.
So, a little bit of music this week. Neither of us listened to shit, but we just watched the video for Benny the Butcher's 10 More Commandments, featuring Diddy, which is kind of like a part 2 to Biggie's 10... excuse me, 10 Crack Commandments. With the video, what do you think?
It's pretty decent, man. Like, I saw a little before I heard the song. I saw a little snippet where he's like, on FaceTime to Diddy and just talking about it and shit like that. So, how he's like, he didn't want to touch the original, which is mad respectful, and how any sort of hip hop, any sort of MC with respect for anything should be. So that was kind of cool to see that sort of like, you know, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Excuse me, mate.
Get
But yeah, it was cool, man. Like very, very slow, low tempo. Like, man, it was very dark and chill. But whenever Benny raps, he finds the pocket of any fucking beat that he spits on. So within like 2 bars, you're already like, okay, and you just feel the pocket. You bounce along with the pocket, like you know, it's very dark but very cool. And did he go from 20 to 10? Is that how he did it?
20 to 11, yeah. So the next 10, that's why it's like 10 more.
Yeah, so that was cool. I just thought it was crazy. That was it.
What did you think? Because I was listening to like literally right before we went on. I was finishing the video. What like do you fuck with the? I didn't like Diddy's. His like he has these like ad libs that are like over the fucking the main. Because at first I was watching, I was like, what is that? Why is it like? Why is his ad lib so shit? And then I listened a bit more careful, and I'm like, oh, that's Diddy. I thought he was going to talk at the end, but he's like commenting on what Benny's saying over the verse. It wasn't like, because Benny doesn't leave gaps like that really. Like he kind of raps pretty, like it's pretty slow flow all the time. But
yeah,
Diddy was just talking like real estate. He was just like saying stuff over the stuff, but sometimes he say multiple words, and I was like, I just distracted from the rap. It wasn't. I didn't like that part. I thought that was a little like.
Yeah, that's the same as what he did on the Nipsey track as well.
Oh, and Young Brothers, whatever it's called.
Yeah, real brothers. Yeah, so that that was
that
just like
called? Okay, sorry.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You're gone. Sorry.
I forget. But yeah, that's when it says featuring Diddy like that. He's like literally ad libbing. He's not rapping. He's not producing. It's an Alchemist beat. You see him in the video. That's why this kind of dark sort of beat, you know, this works with Benny, like that slow sort of shit, and only Alchemist can really pull this kind of shit off. So,
yes. Okay, so I got more. I just saw something to talk about.
Slaughterhouse, yeah, dude, we should talk.
Yeah, I watched the thing, so I'd love to talk about it.
Joell's.
Yes, I watched the beef part of the live, so we should talk about that. Because as you were sort of discussing this, I just looked at the singles list, and there wasn't a single song aside from that Benny one to talk about that I'm interested in. But the album list this week is fire, bro. Lil Durk dropped 7220. Shen Sia dropped a project called Alpha, and she's like a reggae artist that was on Donda. She was on one of the songs there. Dave East has a project called HDIGH. Lucky Day has a project called Candy Drip, which I think we heard that song.
Truth. Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I saw some artwork for that. You know, Crystal.
Benny did drop Tana Talk 4. Oh man, we fucked up. I'm not listening to music this week.
Yeah, I listened to that a couple of days ago. There was like a whole playlist that I found on YouTube. I don't know why I didn't include it.
Is it the album? Was it the real album? Yeah. Did it have the 10 commandments on it?
Yeah. And it had videos on like 3 of the songs too. Some of them were visualizers, but the other ones were actual videos.
What'd you think? What was it good?
Honestly, dude, like he's so fucking consistent. It sounded like all the other shit just with a lot more beats that were along the trap sort of backbone. In that they had like the same rolling hi-hats and a bit more of contemporary drums. They weren't more like boom bap drums. So that's the main difference.
So
but
I think
the rhymes and the cadence and the pocket and the way he talks about shit and the videos and everything, even though there's like 3 videos and the visualizers are just kind of BTS footage. They kind of looped, you know how that goes. Still cool though, but it was on his actual YouTube channel. There's a playlist that he's got there. It's like 17 songs long, and there's like 2 songs that aren't real, or maybe they're like leaked singles that I didn't know of from other shits. But anyway, it took me like an hour or so to get through that, and it was fucking sick, dude. I had a gangsterous morning, put the hoodie on, the Tim's on, walked around the house, fuck
yeah.
Kicked doors and walked backwards and fucking ashed on the floor like a cunt and fucking had a good time.
Just in the hallway. Let's go.
In the hallway. With all my fucking 80-year-old neighbors just mobbing in the hallway.
Just out here, just like rolling dice.
Out here.
You know what I mean?
75-year-old Diane's like, pass the blunt, you can't.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Well, maybe a little more Canadian, but basically that's what she was saying.
Way more Canadian than that, basically.
Oh, yeah. So, okay, I think that particular album is his... You know how we got signed to, like, I think it was Def Jam because of Snoop. So
Oh, cool.
I think it might have been his major label debut type of thing, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm.
So, or at least maybe the not major debut, but with that label. So, okay, I'm gonna check that. That sounds great. I'm glad that you got to check that one. Elzai and Georgia Ann Muldrow did a project called Zeitgeist. Kind of cool. Yellow Wolf and Shooter Jennings did one called Sometimes Why. Interesting name.
I'm gonna miss that one.
And perfect segue. Crooked Eye, or King Crooked, and Joell Ortiz did a project called The Rise and Fall of Slaughterhouse. I need to hear this. So that's a great. We'll just move on to that segment.
Sure.
So
I just put the Benny album YouTube playlist in the notes. So you can check it out. Also, chuck in the description if kids want to listen to it on YouTube in order for free.
All that stuff. Okay, perfect. Oh, and you know what? We'll come back because there's a few other things that you did before we even talk about Slaughterhouse. Though, should we finish the rest of this stuff? Or should we go into the Slaughterhouse situation?
Whatever flows, mate.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll come back because the Slaughterhouse kind of comes into the more topics as opposed to the music. But you had the D Smoke video for Say Go. I think I might have seen that, but was that good?
It's proper, man. Can't go
Benny
wrong. D Smoke is so quality. He raps in Spanish a little bit.
Always.
Very good quality video. He's got the squad out. He's in the neighborhoods and everything.
Was that he's walking with the street with the palm trees and stuff?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just going through it right now. It gets some visual sort of
reminders.
Here we go. Yeah, exactly down the street with the mad beautiful palm trees, and then just rapping in the street.
I think it came out a couple of weeks ago, though. That's because I didn't see it recently. It must have been like a week or two back.
It did come out in February 22.
Okay, that's only a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, he's squad deep in the street, rapping with his shirt off sometimes, and it's just cool. Just a good community sort of video. But yeah,
he's the best.
I heard some sneezes.
Yes, Brad says bless you. Says thank you. No shit. She said thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
No shit, baby.
So yeah, proper, man.
Fire.
Consistent D-Smoke. Love it.
Love it. The Benny the Butcher LA Leakers freestyle. Fire.
Very short, but fire.
It was like a 16, though. It was like a minute. Or maybe it was like a 20, 24.
I think it was like, the whole thing was like a minute and a half or 2 minutes of rapping.
Okay.
So
it was fire.
Over Brothers Dahn Started Something.
Yeah, Max.
That's a classic fucking beat.
Very cool.
Classic. Very cool.
So that was super fire. Definitely go check it out.
That beat is like everything.
Yeah, right. It held up really well, and it worked well for Benny's flow and stuff. And that was just cool to see. It was
Is that a Swiss beat? Who did that?
I think it might have been. And obviously, I'd always try to avoid giving Swiss props, but
that's incredible. That beat's ridiculous.
He has his moments, Uncle Swiss. So gotta give credit where it's due. We'll cover the Drink Champ stuff in a sec because that was a fun one. But as far as the other thing about music, you mixed and mastered a new project. Tell us about that one.
Oh yeah. So the Homies Trilogy and Kendall Chase. Trilogy is an MC from Belleville, but then by way of Belleville, and then Ontario and Vancouver there, Tofino, I think, all the way out there. So anyway, Kendall Chase also from the West Coast. I don't know exactly where, but he's a dope MC, and Trilogy's a homegirl. They've got an EP called The Dynamic Duo Volume 1. And yes, I just had the pleasure of mixing and mastering that. I've worked with Trilogy a bunch of times. I've mastered a couple of projects. I've mixed a couple and mastered a couple of projects for her. And it was the first time working with Kendall Chase, and both of them work together really well. They have a gritty, grimy sort of, on some tracks, like aggressive style that just really, really meshes together. It's a fun listen. It's a great rapid album if you're about that life. And really, really eclectic sort of beat choice. It goes from like hard-hitting boom bap shit to some sort of trap fusion as well. But it really works. I think it really bangs. Definitely worth a listen. So the Dynamic Duo Volume 1 by TRLG and Kendall Chase. So
check for that. Check Nosh's work. Obviously, if you're an artist and you hear it, you're going to need to hit up Illinois Studios. So it's illinoisstudios.com or at Illinois Studios if you're looking for a little bit of 1-2 mixtape, mastering. You'd be silly if you
out.
don't. So that's what Nosh does. So that is dope.
Also,
yes,
there was something else I had that literally happened today. So I got asked to do a beat for a podcast. So there's a podcast coming out called Just Out of Curiosity, and I did the theme song for it. So
nice.
The theme music for it, the theme tune.
Right, theme tune.
So that'll be fun. Just Out of Curiosity with Shelly D. That'll be coming out in a little while. The first episode is getting recorded, but yeah, music will be on that, and I will let the kids know when the first one drops. But making music for theme tunes, which is really fun for me because it's just taking a beat that I already had and just changing it and manipulating the arrangement. So it's like just like the habits we did here and like that I did here, and made it 20 odd seconds long and just smoothed it into what it is. So it's better. It's fun to take a full structured song that I had made for this particular beat and just kind of like condense the fuck out of it. So I've got a 20-second version and like a 40 or 35-second version. But yeah, that was what I did today. So that's fun news.
Love it. That's great. I mean, that means you've done obviously this one. You got another one. I guess you didn't do BOS because that was a different producer. But
I mixed the song. I mixed that one, but that was I also rapped on the hook with you and everybody else.
Yeah. There you go. Which is the part of it.
Got me fucking. Yeah.
There you go. Look at you, girls in all the fucking podcasts, man. Jeez.
Look at you, easy, eh?
Look at you.
I'm a fingering all the pies.
Just fingering all the pies, mate. You're just like
I'm fingering all the pies. You can't. Tomato sauce and on me. Phalanges.
You know the vibes. You know the fucking vibes.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, we've got a bunch of cool topics actually now. There's a whole bunch of cool shit. So let's talk about the Slaughterhouse stuff first, maybe, because that was the segue I was going for. So I didn't know the project just came out. So probably today's the Sunday. We didn't record the day before we dropped. So maybe sometime during the week, like last week, Royce 5'9" and Joe Biden were on live on Instagram, and they were talking shit about. It was like an hour and a bit, the whole thing, but I just skipped to the part where Joell came in. Did you watch the whole thing, or did you watch just the Joell part?
No, I just saw what you're about to talk about.
Okay, cool. So, from what I understand, Joe and Royce were talking shit about Joell and Crooked. It got back to Joell. Like, his people were hitting him and said, hey, they're on live talking about you. You should probably go in there to sort it out. Joell joined the live, and I knew it wasn't like positive because I'd seen the end previously, like on social, and I think I just looked up YouTube. I was eating something quick before a podcast during the week, so I was like, let me just watch something while I'm eating, and I saw that. I'm like, oh yeah, sick, finally, cool. So from what I understood, there was some sort of a miscommunication between these four dudes, which is not surprising, I guess, for rappers, successful egos, business. They were saying that the business of Slaughterhouse was always not great. And there was something about, and please correct me if I'm wrong, because you might have understood it, but Crooked Eye got a deal for them all, excuse me. And Royce, obviously Joe was like, I'm not rapping anymore. And Royce said something along the lines of, I don't want to do a Slaughterhouse record with just the three of us. Joe needs to be a part of it. And Joell and Crooked took that as a no. That, okay, so I guess we're not doing it. So Royce kept saying to Joell, when did I say no? When did I decline the deal? And Joell was like answering stuff and kind of moving. He's like, no, you didn't answer me. When did I say no? He's like, when you said you wouldn't do it if Joe isn't involved, because that's not saying no. And then Joe was saying that he didn't say no. So I don't know did you get any answer from what you watched as to where that miscommunication was, or like what happened there, or did you basically saw what I saw there?
So the same thing. They were just arguing the end point of it, so they didn't really. I do need to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
But they were getting mad at each other real quick, and then Joe Biden started saying the album can get fucked.
The Slaughterhouse album.
Yeah, the Slaughterhouse album. Yeah, it's like the album could suck my dick, and I was just like, whoa. Then they started getting mad.
Well, from what I guess we'll come back to that in a sec because that was the end part. But as they were going, it's all right. Royce and them were calling each other who was telling who were lying? I think they were calling each other liars, this is like your friend. It's like me and you arguing on live or something and being like, man, you're a fucking liar, Nosh. Like, why you do, well, like, it's a pretty intense thing to accuse someone that's your friend or business associate of. So it felt very confrontational. It wasn't super cordial. You could tell Joell was pissed, but he was trying to keep his composure. And he was like, y'all are right. He goes, we could have covered this behind the scenes, guys. Like, I didn't need to be on here fucking live, like, talking to y'all like this. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, why are we doing it this way? This is, like, not how we get down. So I started immediately, obviously, like, of all of those dudes, you and me are biggest fans of Royce and always kind of rode for him. But it seemed a little like Royce was, from what I could tell, and tell me what you think as well, it felt like there was a miscommunication. So there was something that maybe there was things that were assumed about this deal and about people's intentions with the group. And then on top of that, it felt like, I don't know, it felt like Joell was in the right here for the most part, because they kind of seemed bitter that Joell and Crooked they had another project last year sometime. Can't remember if it was an album or an EP, but they did something together, probably because they wanted to keep shit going. Those are the only two that were doing it, and the other guys weren't really, Joe quit rapping and all that bullshit. So it seemed that they were, I got the feeling that they were, you guys go off and do your little thing and whatever, your little collab shit or whatever. And then they were arguing about whether Joell has a logo, him and Crooked, and Royce said, you don't have a logo. He's like, you have a fucking logo. Like, how are you telling me I don't have a logo? Like, they were arguing about really dumb things. So I was like, man, this is like really fucking lame, like that they're arguing like this publicly. And Joell says some shit like, Royce, you didn't want a 3-man weave with us to do our shit. And because, Joe's not in it, and we had this deal on the table, and because you're saying it's not Slaughterhouse without Joe, and they didn't want to use, do an album without, and Royce kind of confirmed that was the case. So, like, if Joell was taking, and Crooked were taking that, that fact, which Royce confirmed as a no, as opposed to, Royce, do you want to do this? And he said, I don't want to do it without Joe, but that, I guess, is not a straight up no. Then I don't know what happened. And they thought as well, because now I saw the name of this project, so I'm actually very keen to hear it, but The Rise and Fall of Slaughterhouse, so they're telling the story of what happened without the other two involved, which is an interesting move to do. And I can understand, they can't be surprised that, I mean, when I say they, Joell and Crooked can't be surprised that the other two pissed at him. Did I miss anything there, or is that basically what you got to?
No, that's proper. Fucking hell.
Yeah. And then what you said before, at the end, Joe said, I think he said, they were sort of talking, I don't know if he said the album can suck my dick, but he literally, he said the album, okay, can suck my dick, and then Joell was like, suck my dick. He's like, bro, you're gonna fucking regret you wish you never said that. And then he's like, I'm out, won't. And he went. And the reason why it seems to me that saying suck my dick is like the worst thing that you can say, because on the Bone Thugs and fucking Thingo, 3-6 Mafia, when they were arguing and Juicy J said suck my dick to Busy Bone, and then he threw the water.
That was the thing. Yeah.
It was the trigger that made him overreact. So I didn't realize, I don't know if you realized, I didn't think suck my dick was the worst thing that you could say to me. Like, that wouldn't make me flip. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's not a good thing to say.
They're taking it mad literally, obviously. That's pretty hectic. That must be like some... Is that some jail shit, or is that some hood shit? Is that some street shit? I don't even know. Like, that's usually just funny. Like, I suck my dick, you can't. Fuck off, mate. Like, it's as simple as fuck off. Like,
that's what I would have taken.
Maybe it's like, there's definitely like a provincial meaning with that one, or a city meaning, whatever you call it. Regional. There you go. Fucking hell.
Yeah, maybe yes.
Weird.
It was a little bit strange, and it was kind of sad to see, because like we obviously respect.
It's like if you called me a dog cunt and be like, I'd be pretty pissed. Or it's like, oh, do this for me. Nah, don't be a shit cunt. It's like kind of like
that. I mean, it's like the don't be a shit cunt's funny, but
dog cunt.
In Australia, calling someone a dog cunt is like, that's a jail thing for sure. Because I think it kind of means snitch to a degree. No, it's like
cunt? You did someone wrong. Yeah, it's more like some sort of wronging.
But it's like one of the worst things you can say in that context. But once again, if someone said that to me, maybe it depends who says it to you. I don't know. It would just like it seemed to me a little bit all blown out of proportion. When like, communication is arguably the most important thing in life. Like, it's so funny to see what or sad to see what can happen with when communication breaks down. And it's wild, it's just sad because these guys are doing it in public, and they're all 40 plus, so like you're grown men, very successful, and you don't even you have to do it like that.
Their shit out on the internet.
Yeah, like they're doing it like they're 21. Yeah,
trash.
So I thought that was kind of whack. So I'm going to listen to that album and see what they have to say. But it sounds like there's a lot of shit that sort of went down. And I wonder how personal they got. Because maybe they heard the project. And that's why they were pissed. So I don't even know. But I guess we'll find out about that. So that's interesting. So if, y'all can go check that out. Something else that we were talking about was the game was on Drink Champs, which was it was like a 4-hour episode.
Pretty long, man.
It was good. It was like, it seemed like Game had really like been through some shit in life and been a dirty cunt, like really done people bad. Like to the point where he refuses to fly because he thinks he's done so many bad things in his life that, God will shoot the plane down type of thing. And he doesn't want people, kids and babies and other people, innocent people, to be affected by his wrongdoing, so he doesn't want to fly. Well, that's kind of crazy to me that you really have done that much dirty shit. But it was.
Also, he was touching on that when, like, as far as he didn't get invited to the Super Bowl performance because, like, he's too hood and too street for, like,
not safe enough.
National or international television. So, like, he's not exactly not safe enough.
Yeah, I don't know if that was to do with the being dirty. I thought it was just that, like, he never had he had the crossover hits like How We Do and what's the other song? There was two.
Hate It or Love It.
Hate It or Love It. Back in like 05, 06 type of shit. He said apparently they both went #1. But like he didn't have any sort of career like any of the other people. So I don't even think it's like a thing just because he's in LA doesn't mean because he came out before Kendrick, so maybe he was pissed because he came out before Kendrick, so he considers himself a legend out there. So I guess that does make sense. But
fair enough. Yeah, he didn't seem too keen, but
no.
Took on the chin a little bit, but like he was wearing a fucking full balaclava, no mouth hole, no nose hole, and
the whole time
just had some for a good like hour and a smidge, and then he takes it off, and he was aggressively drinking. Like I'm talking like you know how frat boys and bros and fucking hockey Kyles and shit go like if you're at the bar or at like maybe even a barbecue backyard sort of situation, circular table, and some cunts like, oh, let's have a shot, whatever. Game grabs the bottle and drinks the whole bottle instead of having one shot. Just like he just always runs.
He was drinking out the bottle.
He tried to assert dominance. He drank so much, dude. Like absolute alcohol abuse for 3 hours. It's fucked. And he drinks a whole bottle of like of this crazy shit. It's a lot of tequila that I had no idea the names of. I've never seen these like these porcelain white bottles with blue on it. They look honestly really nice.
He's just crushing it.
He was necking them to the face, and he was just getting so like he held himself pretty goddamn well.
He said he
smoked
drinks
a couple big fat spliffs too, like sativa blunts. He was fucked, bro. 3 hours of like excessive alcohol abuse, and he was talking fairly straight. He honestly, hats off. He held his fucking shit together.
He said he drinks full bottles all the time, and they were trying to tell him not to.
Insane.
But it just started getting messy, and like Nori is like so painful to listen to sometimes, man. Like let me be here. Let's be clear. Yeah, I gotta be real with you. Like he just keeps saying the same thing and then not saying anything. Like I'm just, it gets frustrating. Like it's like they get on a tangent, and then he stops them from saying good stuff, and then changes the subject to something stupid. Like I understand who he is.
EFN has to like put things back on the rails a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, EFN is great.
Everybody derails themselves, but look, it's well,
it's
no better myself, but like sometimes it's hard to watch.
Yeah, I find it really hard to watch as well, and I understand when you get because obviously I got a beer podcast, so when I'm hosting it, I get lit too. And
you're a prop dude, like fuck.
But I keep people on track because I'm like it's beer, right? You're not getting as drunk as you are with like we're not slamming shots of tequila. You're slowly sipping beers over a couple of hours, right? So you do get drunk, but you don't get fucked. So
man, having like liquor. If I was drinking liquor now, I'd be fucking like, all right, podcast is done. I'll be fucked. I'm about to crack another can actually, but like, holy shit,
it's a
fucked with drinking liquor.
Yeah, the liquor is a whole different deal. So anyway, it was an interesting one. I enjoyed the listen for the most part. Then he started bringing in Whack 100, who's games manager and stuff, and
He's a hard cook, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a bit of a crazy cunt. But I listened to it, so I didn't actually see any of the footage. I just saw a
Definitely
clip.
a hard. Oh, okay, I watched it. He's definitely a hard cunt, bro. You don't want to fuck with that guy. I definitely not about that guy's life.
Yeah, he seems kind of crazy.
He's
But
way too aggressive and like fucking just. That's it. Just aggressive.
Which is a little strange. So anyway, it was a fun listen to. But another one I just started listening to for YouTube fans out there, Mr. Beast, who's I think the biggest YouTuber in the world right now. He was on Joe Rogan, and I've never seen a interview with anybody before. So I'm about a portion of the way through it. The cunt is a genius, bro. Like he's 23. He's got like the channel. Are you familiar with him at all?
No idea who you're talking about.
Oh my gosh! Oh, dude, you need to check this guy out. So he's just this.
What's his name, Mr.
Beast.
Bean? What'd you say?
Beast. So just write it down and check it. You will find it all immediately.
26.3 million American YouTuber. Okay.
Yep.
Subscribe for a cookie.
Yeah, it's very cool. So in a nutshell, basically, he's got these channels where he's been doing YouTube since he's
229 million views. What the fuck?
He rebuilt Squid Games, the entire sets. It cost him $4 million, and then he gave away money to the winner. Exactly how Squid Game works. So his whole videos, he does insane shit and gives away money, cars, houses. He bought a private island, built a beach, and then gave it away. He does crazy things. So his things are in scope. He's been doing it since he's 11, and just studying the game. He finished school, dropped out of college, just studied. He pretended he went to college and sat in his car for like 15 hours a day, so his mum thought he was away at school and working on YouTube. And him and his friends, he said, you know how you spend 10,000 hours? He's like, I probably spent 40, 50,000 hours getting to know. So he goes, I know, we studied everything, like all the keywords, titles, thumbnails, if you make it a little bit brighter, does it get more clicks? Everything about pacing, how often you change the screen up, like make a cut, all that stuff. So as he got better with it, started going viral a lot. And
insane.
He just does stunts. He buried himself alive for 50 hours.
I'm looking at that one.
Yeah, that one was uncomfortable to watch.
I'm claustrophobic. I probably will skip that one.
Yeah, it's a bit much. Just like crazy shit. Just like really,
hours
really
in solitary. Press this button to win 100,000, 100 million. What's Orbeez?
Not too sure.
Like bouncy balls. It says I put 100 million Orbeez in my friend's backyard.
I saw the clip for that, but I didn't watch the video. I don't know what they are. Maybe they are bouncy balls or something. Yeah. So he does pretty intense stuff. Then he's got he started doing dub channels, so meaning the exact same videos but in Spanish, in Portuguese, in French, in Arabic, and blah blah blah.
No way.
So he's got but he gets famous actors in that region to do the voices. So he got the same actor that they do Spider-Man movies with to do his videos. So like, and he said he's about to launch Japan. He goes, he got a big anime voice actor to do the voices.
He's gonna kill it.
And he said they're going viral in those languages, but he's also opening a studio in Mexico City where YouTubers, so we can get our high season videos. You go, if you're a YouTuber, you go, hi, here, create me a channel in Spanish. You're like, all right, boom. They create the thumbnails and put them in Spanish. They create the titles, the descriptions, and they do subtitles and they do dubs, like voice dubs. They'd have like one for me and one for Tiff, and they would dub the entire video and then create the channel for you. So they're working on that. Then he's got a Mr. Beast, or it's just Beast Burger, so a burger chain, but it's virtual. So what it is, he got approached by somebody who had 300 restaurants already, like a bunch of chains, I guess. And what they did was create Beast Burger. So they created a menu, all the ingredients, all the training, how to make it, and any restaurant. And they put it in those restaurants. So he's like, say any just independent restaurant could be like, I want to be. There's one in Toronto. You could check Uber Eats, and any restaurant could do it, and they can just do the training, have all the stuff there, put it on Uber Eats, and people can order it, and they just make it at that restaurant. So it could be any other restaurant that like, what's your favorite one called? The Rent, where you get the beer bar. So the beer bar could be a virtual kitchen for a Mr. Beast, for a Beast Burger, and basically there, because of that, he said he's also not greedy, so he's like, they take most of the revenue, and there's like 1,600 virtual locations.
What the fuck, bro?
And on top of that,
I just started seeing like a chicken joint like that on Instagram. That's actually really funny because they don't have an actual. They just have like
no location, right? They
like
deliver
an
to
area that they yeah, it's only on the delivery services. Wow,
so would it be a virtual kitchen as well, right? So that's sick. And then he's got a snack bar company. He just launched chocolate bars. He's going to do more different, I guess, whatever, candy bars, chocolate bar, that type of shit. And he said that he doesn't give a fuck about money. So he's like, say there's a video where he gives away $500,000 and they have a sponsor. The sponsor for the video is worth $500K because he's got so many views. Then he's like, well, they don't pay for 120 days. They call it net 120, say, for example. So then he has to front the $500,000 because they have to film the video first. So he gives so he's like, he doesn't care about money to the point where he said he was sharing. He's from North Carolina. He goes, I was just living in this regular shit place with my friends, $700 a month, split it 2 ways, bam, bam. And he said people figured out where I lived and then robbed me. So then I had to go into a better place.
What?
And he doesn't want any. He doesn't, because Joe was like, oh, have you spent any money on anything crazy ever? He goes, yeah, a couple of times I bought a few $1,000 shirts and stuff. And he goes, all of that stuff was stolen when I got robbed, so now I don't care. So all the money, he doesn't give a shit. He goes, what's the point? I don't care. I don't need a big house. I don't care about cars. I don't care about anything. I just want to keep doing this. So he's not even greedy. It's just so fascinating from a 23-year-old that he wants to be like that. So yeah, honestly, you would really enjoy this episode. It was being one of the most inspiring. I'm only maybe halfway through, and I'm just like, this kid's he's a genius. It's really amazing. So I think
Mr. Beast. All right.
Yeah. So check him out. So that was cool. You just mentioned earlier that Drake announced a new highly interactive experience in New York and Toronto. What's all that about?
Yeah. He was on Sirius XM radio on Saturday, yesterday. And he said he was getting back to performing and shit. And he says, I'm excited to let all the people know we're working on something really special. Putting together 2 shows, one in New York and one in Toronto. They're going to be something different, something I've never done before. It'll be a highly interactive experience. My brothers will be there, and it's going to be great to see you all. Hopefully get a chance to speak with you. Hopefully learn a little bit more about each other. So the dates will be coming soon, and I can't wait. So March, blah, 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 blah. 70 million mega fucking extravaganza. Lots of money. So Trump's going to do something cool. So
okay, but no more. It's just like a teaser, right?
That's it. The teaser article.
All right, Drizzly. Let's see what's good.
Little dick tickle.
Yeah, little like the little bidet on the balls, huh?
Exactly. Just a little rinse.
And it probably sounds something like right on the sack. Oh, Drizzly. All right, beauty. So shout outs to all the homies in New South Wales, Eastern New South Wales in Australia's crazy floods right now. And I just saw crazy floods. Like, man's are fully out of there. And I saw on Twitter just before, it was trending, and it said, it reset because I fucking turned it off. God damn it. It said, what did I write down here? There's a plague of deadly spiders and snakes that's happened because of the flood, and they're going into everyone's houses now. So, you could.
How is there a plague of deadly spiders all of a sudden?
So I guess you think about it, right? I think spiders live in trees and holes and
uprooted.
Stuff. Because if there's flood waters, the spiders are like, fuck, my home is getting mashed up, and the snakes. So then they get the fuck out, and then they end up just floating wherever the water takes them and end up in people's houses because they just want to jump on the first thing that they can, stop being floated away from. Because I imagine that's not their habitat either, is water. So they're just like, all right, let me get. Then they'll just get on someone's house and be like, ooh, I can go in this catch thing because it's all dark and I can hide out here. But then people are there and they pull the cushion out and then there's a fucking spider that'll kill you. Kind of crazy, huh?
Honestly, not too keen, eh?
Not at all. So that's pretty fucked up. I was trying to find more information, but I couldn't there.
No,
so
that's all you need. That's enough right there. So be shitting their back.
That's why me and you, mate, are over here with all the pussy hole bugs. They don't really do much. Except
hey, man, I'm here for it. They all die when it gets cold. Peace, cunt.
Yep, exactly. They all die when it gets cold. Yeah, exactly. Eat shit. Haha. we got heaters, you dumb spider cunts.
Hey.
Fuck out of here. This is what I have to say to you,
dickheads.
Spider.
Why are you gay?
Seriously.
Shit, cunt.
That's what I say to you, Spider.
Oh, good one.
Fuck out of here.
Like a good random sound effect. Just keep throwing those in.
Yeah, okay. I'll throw
I'm back teeth floating. What else we got, mate?
All right, beauty. William Hurt, the actor, died at 71.
Who's that? Sorry.
You know his face. Yes, I saw the thing. Let me just see if it tells me where he's
How
from.
do you spell it? H-E-R-T?
Normal. H-U-R-T.
William.
Willie. Oh, man, I don't know why. All my shit reset on my page, and now it's fucked my whole... William Hurt, 71. Here he is. This man.
Oh, okay. So he's done like... Yeah. So he'd be like in military movies and stuff, saying some shit.
Yeah,
okay, so what have we got
familiar.
Here? Incredible Hulk, fucking Goliath.
Oh, wow. I don't
Robin
really know.
Hood? Oh,
yeah.
2010. That's old school.
Man's been around for a minute, so...
45 movies, cunt.
Yeah.
It's been a couple.
Interesting to him. We're going to do the NFT and crypto thing next week when Dan's back. But the other thing that I want to touch on as well for the last thing was more Kanye and Kim and Pete drama, Skete drama. So
Skete.
From basically what happened was this dude, I think, who's a writer for SNL and I think he did The King of Staten Island, which was Pete's movie, posted about 5 screenshots of tweets of text messages that Pete sent to Kanye, and he was saying, "Look, man, like, you are behaving like a child here. It's embarrassing. You're ruining your legacy every day. You need to fucking chill." And he's like, "We need to talk. Like here, like after, because today there was Sunday service, and then there was Saints, Kanye's kid, his soccer game. He's like, after that, I'm going to be at this place." Come through. I'll have a room, just me and you, we can talk and just figure it the fuck out. It's like, you're my girl, it's the father of the children. Like, I can't have this drama. Like, it's not okay. Like, it's crazy. So they were going back and forth, and he's like, "Where are you?" And he took a pen, he goes, "In bed with your wife." And he put that in the text, and it was him there, and then he went on this whole thing about, like, trying to, it was pretty smart ass what he was saying. I don't know if you want me to read it or not, if I can find it real quick, but, it's all trending everywhere as far as like.
Yeah, I just had the old hip hop DX has a screenshot.
It's basically everywhere. So I'm just trying to, like, as I'm telling you about it, try and let's see if I can go. So Kanye posted a bunch of videos on his Instagram, and basically he was saying that he said, now I get these messages, texts from Pete bragging about being in bed with my wife. But then Kanye's also saying that they've got the divorce proceedings going. He's like, "I don't want her back anymore. I'm done with that. I'm moving on. I'm in a good space." And he's like, he's just basically talking about how he's like, the mother always, we're supposed to have joint custody, but the mother always gets the
better, bigger half or whatever.
Exactly. So he's like, he goes, I flew them all out to the game, the Miami, the Donda 2 thing. He's like, and then I get a text right before when they're supposed to be on the plane, and she's like, "North's not coming." And he doesn't know if it's because North didn't want to or Kim stopped her from coming. He's also pissed that North is wearing makeup and going on TikTok and doing all this stuff. He doesn't like that shit, and he thinks he should have a say in it because Kim keeps putting her out there, and she's only like 8 or something.
Fuck that.
So it's kind of fucked up, and he's just like, I should be able to have a say in it. It's not, I'm asking anything crazy. I'm like, I want them to come to Sunday service. I even made the time of it so it fit with Saints soccer game. I did everything to move around that, and you're stopping them from doing it. He goes, they put them in the school, and he said the name of the school. He goes, I don't want them to go to that fucking school. It's godless, it's soulless, or something. He said, somewhere in Calabasas or whatever. It's something Canyon, Sierra Canyon School or some shit, which is bad because now he's gone and doxed their fucking school, so he probably should have said that. But it was just kind of messy, and it was like, I understand that he's frustrated. He's like, I'm putting this here because I don't know what else to do. I'm just trying to share, like, because we're so famous, so everyone's going to know the business anyway. So I'm putting it out here. I'm trying to deal with all this stuff. I just want to have like a nice relationship and make sure I'm getting equal access to my children, and I'm not. And he's kind of pissed about it. So one thing everyone's shitting on him for, because he said, I got my best advice from Tory Lanez, which was basically, what did he say specifically? It was something like, you just like kind of like fall back and don't buy into it or something like that. And I think everyone's just like, oh, you shouldn't have said the best advice, even though it wasn't like anything crazy. No one's actually saying what it was, because I can't remember exactly what it was, but everyone's like shitting on him just for saying that, like, Tory Lanez giving my best advice.
Fucking hell, man.
So it's a little messy, and I was saying to Tiff the other day, I was like, well, think about it like this, like, Kim had the Variety cover story. She had where she talked about it. She had I think she might have had some more product launches or something. Kanye had Donda 2, obviously the shoes, the collab with Gap, the Yeezy Gap and the Balenciaga one, all these different, the stem player, all these different things coming all at once, and he's constantly in there. It's like every single thing they're doing. So I wonder if it's by design. I wonder if they're doing it intentionally or not, because it keeps their name in the news cycle, so they're always being talked about whilst they have a million different projects on. So it's interesting to me.
That's crazy, bro. Fucking hell.
So we shall see what happens there. Just gonna keep an eye on it. I did get the Easy jacket last week. Came in. It's fire. Really good.
Swaggy piece of work.
Oh, mate, I'm just fucking dripping on them. But it's cool. It's nice.
Making it dripping.
Yeah, it's... Oh, you need... Right. Piss?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, go for it. Just go, because otherwise then we'll wrap it up. Go take it. Because
I can hold out.
Okay.
I can hold out. Like I just don't want to... Yeah.
Okay. All right. Beauty. Anyway, the jacket's really nice. Works well. Some people think it looks like a garbage bag. Like my friend, Joshua Telfer, you would have seen him on here a couple times. He doesn't. I
want a full body shot with you on it.
Yeah, it looks... I got to do it. Just I haven't been... I'll get Tiff to take a picture next time we go outside, because now the weather's good enough for that jacket. Like, it seems to be, like, keeping me warm in the... I got, like, the Boss Dog, like, minus 30 jacket, but this I wasn't sure how it would go, but it seems like it's pretty...
This is swaggy in between jacket.
Ooh. It's kind of like a spring jacket, but I got some other ones, because I only really just had one and not too many others. I got one of those, like, fall pea coat type of things, but I've been trying to buy a few other little jackets recently to keep me going in the spring and in the fall. That are, because the pea coat doesn't go with everything. It's a little too like nice. If you just want to wear like Yeezys and jeans, it looks kind of weird. So I got a few other things, but this is super drippy, man. It looks good. It doesn't have a zip, but I'm like, and it's super like puffy, like it's really puffy. But it's it's fine. It's poofy, but I dig it, and the hoodie's whip. So Yeezy stuff. Oh, and Tiff got the black slides, the Yeezy slides. I got them for her finally. I won them through my shit, so I'm very happy for her, because she needed the slides. Now she's drippy as fuck, fam.
Drippy in the crib still.
Oh, man needs it though. Yeah? So yeah, man, that's basically it this week. Anything else? So that's basically that wraps her up.
Mate, that's all the notes we had for the kids.
Yeah. So normally we do the questions, but that's Dan's vibe.
Baby Dan will return with the most fiercest questions you've ever heard next week.
Better be fierce,
and I will have an empty bladder, so we don't...
Empty bladder? Maybe you keep a nice little bottle under the desk and you just fucking...
I'll keep a bucket. I'll just fang it in there, mate.
Just like sit on put like a little bit of plastic down, put a garbage bag on your seat, sit naked already, so you just whip it out over the edge and just dangle him in.
Just let it go.
Let her out, mate. Just let her rip, and you're like...
I have to mute the microphone, so otherwise you can't hear the full like waterfall.
But on the audio version, people will hear it. You're like,
that's what you... That's like a Patreon thing.
Maybe we'll do a special $5 a month for that, cunts.
Nah, we can go 3. It's all right.
No,
I can piss lots. I'll piss a couple times an episode. Maybe we can do it, whatever.
Cheers.
Don't even talk about it. Stop.
You're fucked, cunt. Let's do the thumbnail, and then we'll wrap her up. That was a nice little one, Joel. So
nice little one.
Your fucking faces, man. All right. Where is it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Get a fucking dog up, yeah. There we go. All right, Nosh, where can everyone find you online, man?
On the interwebs at Notion Baby on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. At IllNote Studios on Instagram and Facebook. NotionBeats.com. IllNoteStudios.com. Holla at ya, motherfucking boy.
Bloody ripper. And you can get me at CWFOR, Twitter and Instagram. Guys, thank you so much for watching and listening. If you enjoyed the episode, smash the thumbs up, hit subscribe below, hit the flippin' notification bell.
Ding!
Oh, we're actually changing how the notification bell sounds. It sounds like this now. Follow us everywhere. We doing that again?
Goats in here, dude.
Every week is going to be the new thing. End of the episode. Little goat fest. We'll let you go. Cunts are fucked, bro. Follow us everywhere.
So bad, dude.
At the Movement Fam, and fucking it goes live every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Now it's daylight savings, Eastern daylight time. Daylight savings.
Lost a whole hour today spewing.
Yeah, that
cunt.
sucked. I went to bed at 6 a.m. because of that, but the sun stayed out to like it was lit. And 5 stars, Spotify, Apple Podcasts helps a lot. Shout out to the Dominican Republic, keeping us in the charts out there. You know the fucking vibes. We'll see you sexy cunts next week. Get a dog up your 4 dogs.
Woof.
4 dogs.
Hey,
you cunts.
4 dogs.
4 dogs.
Get 'em up. 4
you
dogs.
cunts get 4 dogs. 4 dogs. 4 dogs. 4 dogs. Get a dog. You cunt. You're a cunt. Get a dog up you.